Hey there, tomato heads. Lauren here, Mrs. Tomato Head. Welcome to Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce. It's been, I think, 2 weeks. It seems like forever. I don't know about you guys, but last week was 4th of July week here in the United States. Well, everywhere it was 4th of July week, but in the United States, we that's our Independence Day. So it's a big celebration we have every year. And I was at my parents' with Rob, and my son was there with his girlfriend for like a long extended weekend. So did not have a Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce, nor did I have a garden tour this Tuesday, Tomato Tour Tuesdays, because I've been a bit under the weather. I've kind of talked about it a little bit in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, but I live with lupus and some other neurological things that go along with it. And I've been a bit under the weather. So I was in New York City for my rheumatologist appointment. So I couldn't do a tomato tour. So it feels like forever since I've like live connected with you guys and I've missed it. There's so much to talk about. It's tomato season here in my neck of the woods. I know it is for many of you too. If it's your first time joining us, welcome. It's a very relaxed, interactive broadcast. If you like to find out about different kinds of tomatoes, the history of them, what I'm obsessed with, what's growing in my garden, you can see me taste things, you're in the right place. I don't like to kind of gloss over varieties of tomatoes. I'm a real true blue tomato head. So I like to find a variety, find out as much as I can about it, and then share it with you guys. And then what inevitably happens, and I will tell you now to grab a pen and paper, which is what everybody tells me to recommend. Inevitably, you will likely add things to your tomato wish list. So I love interacting with all of you. If it's your first time joining, please feel free to put in the comments. I try to get as many on as possible. Rowena says she's going to have to watch later, taking the grandkids swimming, as you should, Rowena. So we will catch you later. Hi, Sathya. Glad you're here. You Grow Row is here. You guys check out her YouTube channel, You Grow Row. She's got a lot of great gardening stuff. Glad you're here, Row. My buddy Deb is here. Deb, I picked my very first Chef Gaigetta yesterday. I was going to message you. I know I told you about Indian Reservation, but after we talked, I picked two just starting to blush Chef Gaigetta because they were starting to split. There's a couple of varieties. Deb had given me Indian Reservation. We had the pleasure of meeting each other in person a couple months. Was it a couple months ago? 6 weeks ago? Now I'm forgetting when it was. May. It was May. So we exchanged some plants in Indian Reservation. I picked my very first one yesterday, but she and I are both excited for a variety called Chef Gaigetta. So I see it every time I pass by it. I think of you, and I picked my first blushing ones. Drew's here. Hello. Glad you're here, Drew. Malachite Jen is here, checking for a bit before I take the kiddo tutoring. Glad you're here, my buddy. Robin is here. Good day, everyone. Mama EC is here. Hello, tomato heads. I owe so many of you prizes, and I've been debating, do I just stop giving away prizes? Because I know some of you I've owed for like a couple months, and I realized this. You are all in. I have a million of these books. So if it's annoying to wait that time, I apologize. I could just kind of put a pause on giveaways, or I can just continue on and you guys can just bear with me. You will get them. And I always give away a million extra things too, because I feel badly that it's taken a long time. But I always say, if it's a variety that you win, just let me know if you need it for now. Lately, I've been giving away just like I give you the link to my spreadsheet and have you go at it and choose your varieties. My buddy's here, Ramonte. Glad to see you too, my friend. Quite a number of things on my list today came from you or inadvertently came from you. You'll see in a minute, but glad. Ramonte is my obviously a fellow tomato head. She used to work for the World Tomato Society. She knows everything there is to know about tomatoes. As much as I think I'm knowledgeable, she puts me to shame. So she's really helpful in finding out various things about the varieties. And if I haven't had a chance to ask her ahead of time, she chimes in during the show if she can and sets us straight. It's really important to me to get as much info as possible. Like the breeder of the tomato is important to me, if applicable. Sometimes they're heirlooms and you just don't know where they came from. The origin's really important to me. So Ramonte's always really good at that. Katie's here. Hello. Glad you're here. Hannah's here. Hi, everyone. She says, glad you're feeling better. I'm getting there. Thank you. I've been on prednisone for a couple weeks, just finishing up a second round. I'm getting there. It's been challenging. I don't know who's got time for being sick. It's tomato season, but it's all good. I'm so much better than I was years ago, so I really can't complain. Brianna's here. Hi, glad you're here. Troy's here. Hey, from Tomato Alley in Sonoma, California. Hope you're feeling well, friend. Today's a good day. Today's a good day. Thank you, my buddy. Chef Guy Getta, my holy grail. I know, I'm with you. These are, I didn't even bring up the slide to show you guys. I've showcased it on the show before at least once. Maybe it was just once, but in my 6-part 2024 grow list, I featured this Chef Guy Getta, which looks absolutely incredible. It's this tricolor. They're Deb, I don't know how far yours are in growing, but they kind of look like fat plums. I should just go upstairs and get one. They look really cool. Oh, Robin, like and subscribe, save the tomatoes. Thank you, Robin. Yes, if you don't already subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would appreciate it. Yes, we met in May. Yeah, it seems like just yesterday, and then in other ways it seems like forever ago. Linda's here. Hi, Linda. Linda's responsible for like a really big part of my garden this year because the Depeche Mode tomatoes by Bill Yoder are kind of one of my holy grails of the garden this year. I've already tasted 2, and Linda gave me she ordered. I'm going to talk about Bill Yoder in a minute, by the way, but she had ordered. I missed ordering for his Depeche Mode ones, like right around Christmas, and she didn't miss it, and she gave me a couple of her extra seeds, which was very appreciated. Laura's here. Hello, everyone. I made it in time. Glad you're here. Randy. Oh, Randy. He says, I picked a Nano's meatball yesterday. It's a near 10. Ah, that is one of my holy grails of the year. It's a variety called Nano's Meatball Dwarf. It's only put out by Secret Seed Cartel. This was the first year. I've talked about it on the show a few times, and they sold out. Like after I talked about it here, they sold out. I don't think they were sold out before I talked about it. Maybe I'm wrong. But I know many of us are growing it. I have 2 plants, and I just took a sucker. So now I've got a 3rd plant, which will be later. Excuse me, but I've got 2, and I'm waiting for ripening, and I haven't seen or heard somebody that's tasted it yet. Randy, you just made my day. So see what Secret Seed Cartel says about it, and I think I just read about it again a couple shows ago, but they it's a breed that they've kind of been stabilizing, and they say it's the best dwarf they've ever had. I think, and one of you can correct me because we probably all know the same listing really well. I think they said it's the biggest fruits of any dwarf they've had before. I don't think that's going to be the case with me. The fruits might be getting right around this size, but there's a lot of them. I have one in a grow bag, and I have one in ground in my mushroom compost mix. Oh, Randy, you just made my day. And for anybody else who's growing it who hasn't had ripe, tell us more, Randy. I want to hear all about it. A near 10. Oh, that's so exciting. Ro thinks so too. That's awesome. Hi, Anna. Glad you're here. Anna Nitschke. Francis is here. Good way to pass the rest of my workday. Boss doesn't even know I have a tomato talk in my earbud. As it should be. As it should be. If only our entire workday could be devoted to tomatoes, right? Malachi Jen says, yay, Randy. I have a few nanos to hopefully pick soon. Yep, mine are doing the plants are doing great. They're staying really short. And they're very fruitful, but I don't know that I have any close to ripe yet. I keep checking, and I think I actually may have taken a 2nd sucker plant, actually. So I'm kind of hoping maybe I could grow it inside. It might be a stretch, but it's so far for me, it's not growing super tall. That's the best news ever. That's the best news ever. Anna says, did you ever find a source for that most wanted Spanish variety that was seemingly very expensive and only one source? No, I did not. The variety is called Amarillo Ladrunen, I believe. Let me check on that. It's Amarillo something, and it's supposed to have a Brix of, let me look at my spreadsheet here. It's supposed to have a Brix of beyond 10, which now that so many of us have refractometers, I've got a nice digital one now that my parents gave me as an early birthday gift. Brix now, the sweetness level means a lot to us, but let me check it. I'm pretty sure it's Amarillo Ladrunen. And no, never have not found that one. Tomato wish list. No, that's not it. Tomato. Gotta find it. Tomato wish list. Nope, Amarillo de Ladrunen. Oh, it says over 12 bricks. Let me put it in the comment. Actually, I'll make it a banner so you guys can see which one I'm talking about. If anybody could find it, if anybody has found it, Amarillo de Ladrunen. Okay, that's the name of the variety. And I had seen it like on some tomato message board years ago. Somebody was asking like, what's the sweetest tomato you've ever had? And the person replied like, this one, the Spanish variety, it's a yellow, which to me, I'm not the biggest fan of yellows, honestly. But they said you can't find seeds anywhere. Even the town of Ladrunen, which I believe the town in Spain, Ladrunen, they can't find it any longer. So that was my most wanted one week. So no, never found it. But maybe if I continue, talking about it here on the show, we can, one of us can find it, right? Find it, grow it, and share seeds. Oh, yeah. I'm like, what was I getting to? I was getting to comments. Sorry, I'm late, says Teresa. No problem. No problem. Thank you, Linda. I'm doing better. The neurological stuff has been troublesome. I get have trouble swallowing, and I get these bad tremors. Normally it happens at night, and then narcolepsy, believe it or not. I'm not sure if I've ever shared that. It sounds silly, but usually just happens in the morning, but I can't stay awake. And it's not even being tired. It's just this wacky thing. Ooh, Teresa just finished tasting my first 1+ pound Ananas Noir. Beautiful tomato, right? That's your first ever? One of the most beautiful tomatoes ever, and really tasty too. And then my little variety, Bananas Noir, is an accidental cross from that. So they're like globe, about that size, and look just like it, taste different, taste sweeter. But glad, let us know what you think of it. It's really a classic for a reason, I think. Kristen's here. Hello, hello. Have I been feeling this week? I'm better now. Better today. Yeah, I've been doing okay. The prednisone really helps. So thank you for asking. Yvette says, I'm going to a tomato festival in Spain end of August. We'll look out for this one. Please do. Please do. Kathy's here. Hi. I'm at work taking SUPE calls, quiet between calls today. So glad I can sneak in to de-stress and enjoy. Me too. Me too. So much to talk about. I don't even know where to begin. So let me just first say, so my last show, this was my most wanted, Meme de Buse, however you pronounce it. And I'd like to thank two people who found it and sent it to me, Kim Langlaise and James Maxwell, who is one of my tomato angels, James. Like every time I mention a variety, all of a sudden it shows up in my mailbox, which is just so thoughtful. So they both sent them to me. And I thank you both very, very much. Had I realized that, I would have told one of you to not. I didn't mean to double up on that, but thank you guys. When I do these most wanted, it's not trying to beg at all for seeds at all. Certainly not expecting anybody to send them to me. I just like sharing tomatoes with you guys. So I really appreciate it. And a lot of what I'm sharing today is stuff from other members. I've got another one from Kim and a couple from James too. So thank you very much for that. Next week, next Thursday, believe it or not, is Tomato Lovers Collective and Swaps 1-year anniversary. And for those of you that didn't know, yeah, we are less than a year old. Kina, Jen, and I have been running this together for the last year. So rather than my regular Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce show, Kina and Jen are going to join me live, and we're going to have a party, and we're going to give away prizes and just talk about the past year and all kinds of tomato fun. So same time next week, 1 year anniversary for Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. Can't believe it's been a year. Part of me feels like it's been forever, and then other times it just doesn't seem like that long. If you're not a member of the group, join us. We would love to have you. We're so much more than a seed swap group. We're really a place where we help each other from the beginner to the seasoned tomato grower. We learn, we share. It's kind. It is 1000% drama free. Unless I let in a post about that darn purple tomato, and then all of a sudden hell breaks loose. And I keep saying to myself, "Oh, I'll keep an eye on this one," and Kina Jen too. But it's been me that lets them in. I will fess up, thinking we can all just talk about it like grown-ups, and it just brings out very strong feelings. So other than the purple tomato, which I'm now vowing I definitely will allow people to post pictures of it and their thoughts, but like, because some of you are growing it, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm devoted to, showcasing all tomatoes, hybrid, um, that one's a GMO. So whatever, there's no shaming in our group or here on this show. Absolutely not. Um, we sometimes it's a matter of being educated, but being cruel to one another is not okay. And that's what our group is really that's really our touchstone of TLC. When I created it, and then Kina and Jen jumped on board within an hour, it seemed like very quickly. We just wanted a kind, drama-free place where we could celebrate tomatoes and not deal with there's some drama in the tomato world, but not within our group. Our group is amazing. So if you're not a member, we would love to have you join us. Oh, Kina is here, my buddy. Yay, TLC party. Kina will be joining us all the way from Norway. We haven't had a party in a long time, Kina. I think it was it 3,000 members? I think we had a party for 3,000 members. We skipped over 4. We're on our way to 5, which is kind of crazy. Linda says, yay, woot, 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 woot. Oh, speaking of which, so what has happened the last couple times we've had a party and we've given away prizes, and this is not begging for seeds either, but we often have members who, because we do giveaways, we often have members who on the fly just say, I'd like to give away this, that, and the other thing. And it's so generous, and it can be a little tough to manipulate that within the live show. So if you want to donate anything, seeds or anything towards our 1-year anniversary party, just reach out to me, Kina, or Jen privately, and we can arrange that. We are certainly not looking for donations. We kind of pride ourselves. We've never once asked a vendor or a member for donations. We don't do that. They come to us, and we like it that way. But if it's something you've been thinking of, and this is probably many of you, so many of you come to me like, I'd like to do a giveaway, and I'm like, that's great, and then I kind of forget about it. So if that's you, please come to one of us privately, and we would be happy to include you in our 1-year celebration. Kathy says, wow, so exciting. 1 year, definitely be beautiful to see you all together. Yeah, we've got some of you who have been with us pretty much from day 1 or the first week, and then we've got so many new ones too, which is really exciting. We've got so many newcomers to tomato growing, which is also exciting. And I love the way that the seasoned growers treat the beginner growers, not talking down to them as if they're stupid or they should know these things. It really is a true collective. So when I was trying to come up with the name, when I started the group, and it wasn't a planned thing at all. It was very much a last minute thing, kind of a knee jerk to a bad situation in another group. I wanted to make sure the name kind of encompassed more than a swap group. We're so much more than that. So collective, I think, is a good name for that. Ramonte says, yay, 1 year. I'm so glad you made this nice place for tomato people. Thank you for that. You are all amazing. I'm so glad you're part of it, Ramonte. I'm so glad you are all part of it. Truly, the group is much more than 1 or 3 people. It is all of us as a collective. We really contribute to the magic. Linda says, yay, 1 year. Kina says, yeah, it was the 3,000 last time. And then prior to that, we did a Christmas show, which was also fun. We were in our Jen and I had tomato jammies that we that we wore. It was a lot of fun. The three of us, I'm so blessed to work with Kina and Jen. I say this all the time, but we are. Um, Speaking of the party, so next Thursday at this time will be our party, and then next Friday is our July episode of Tomato Talk Live, which I do with Jen. We do it usually the first Friday of each month, but this month was a little funky. She couldn't do tomorrow. I couldn't do last week, so we moved it to next Friday, which is I've got tomatoes under my little planner here. The 19th? The 19th. And Craig LaHoulier is going to be joining us as our special guest again. And we'll be talking about tomatoes, of course. And he's going to talk to us a little bit about tomato genetics, which I'm finding super exciting. And I know many of you are too. So join us. That will be next Friday, already forgot, the 19th. And that show starts at 7 p.m. Eastern, which I think is 1 o'clock in the morning Central European Standard Time, so it is late. If those of you overseas can't join us, all of our episodes are recorded. So apologize that it's so late. Oh, Francis. Yes, this group is the absolute best part of my Facebook. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you. Thank you. Deb says 1 year flew by. It did. It really did. I remember starting, I'm like, what the heck am I doing? I'm so busy with my other group, Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain, but really saw a need and you guys all joined in, and it's just so much fun. You've brought so much joy to my life over the past year. Yay, Craig. Love Craig. Me too. He was amazing on our April episode. That talk about a humble, genuine, authentic man who just loves tomatoes. What you see is what you get. So fortunate that he's coming back to the show. We think he should just be like a third member of the show, Jen and I, because he just fits in so great. I'm already running behind in my slides. I have so much I want to talk to you guys about. I've mentioned Bill Yoder before, so I put a post about this in the group this morning. So Bill is getting ready to start seed sales. You've heard me talk. He was a guest on our show for our February. Was it February or March? I think it may have been our March episode. Bill Yoder, he's I call him a rock star tomato breeder. Last year, he came out with the Prince collection. Many of us are growing them. Purple Rain, Little Red Corvette, Raspberry Beret, one of my favorite. And then this past year, he came out with a limited amount of Depeche Mode seeds, and they sold out very quickly. Now he's releasing Duran Duran, which is, I'm a big Duranie. So many of us who are friends with Bill on Facebook, and that's his shop, by the way. So if you are interested in ordering, you need to friend him. I did hear from somebody about an hour or so ago saying that his friend requests are filled up. So I'm not sure if he realizes that, but it's in the group Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. What you need to do is private message him on Messenger. Give him your email address. Don't do it on his Facebook page, but through Messenger. Email him. No, I'm sorry. Private message him your email address. He will send you back an order sheet with instructions on how to order. But let me just show you some of the varieties he's offering. So this is Duran Duran. That was Come Undone, Hungry Like the Wolf, Hold Back the Rain, Blasphemous Rumors is part of the Depeche Mode series. These are all going to be up for sale. Save a Prayer, New Moon on Monday. How the man comes up with these colors, I do not know. This is Notorious. Suffer Well, I tasted live on this show. Was it 2 weeks ago? It was a revelation, an absolute revelation. It immediately went to my top favorite tomatoes probably ever. I'm going to have to do a taste off with some of my other favorites like Malachite Box. This is a cross between Berkeley Pink Tie-Dye and Cherokee Purple. Potato Leaf, we'll have those for sale. Raspberry Beret so far is my favorite of the Prince series, although I haven't had Purple Rain yet. So, not that yet. So anyway, those are pictures of just some of the varieties he's going to be offering for sale. So again, you can look in the group. I think it's pinned to the featured carousel for more info, but you want to friend Bill, or at least send him a message on Messenger. Bill Yoder is his name. And give him your email address, and then he will email you all the information. He's going to sell out instantly. I told him it's like worse than getting Taylor Swift tickets. And Malachi Jensen are like getting tickets to Burning Man. He really is like a rock star, and he's such a nice guy too. So I know many of us have been wanting to order for a while. Oh, Kina, thank you. Ugh, thank you. Bill said to not send him your email, but to PM him to get his email address. That's absolutely right, Bill. I'm sorry if I just screwed that up for the last 5 minutes. Thank you, Kina. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're absolutely right. Private message him to get his email address. Don't send him your email. Ugh, I feel terrible. Thank you, Kina. Kina's always so good like that. Lauren, that's not exactly how it is. You're right. Thank you. But look in the group. You'll see the post with the correct information on there. But Kina's right. Private message him. Get his email address. Linda too. I think he said, don't send your email. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He absolutely did. Don't send him your email. Private message him for his email address. And Missy too. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you. I'm excited about this news. Me too. Me too. Kathy says, loved the last time Craig was on. Yep, me too. Shannon, 1 year's gone by fast. It has. It really has. So it's tomato season in full swing. I have been tasting and reviewing a lot with Rob. Some of them I've posted the reviews of in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap and on my Instagram. I don't know if you know I have an Instagram, but it's Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. I don't keep up with it. I'm trying to get better now that it's tomato season, but here are some of the ones I've reviewed. This is Pixie Fire. This is by Teresa Smith at Terra Nova Farms. Cherry, 9.5 bricks. Absolutely. Actually, I've got one right here. Unbelievably tasty. Kind of hard to get the real gist of the colors down here in my basement. It's outrageous. So sweet. Absolutely delicious. I can't believe I just did that to Bill. Sorry, Bill. Glad you guys keep me on my toes. So this one I did post. I have not posted Dwarf Purple Heartthrob yet. That was one of my most anticipated of the year. I'll try to get that up soon. Isn't that beautiful? Terracotta Cherry I also have not put up. Another one of my most anticipated. This is by Evan at Heirloom Seed House. Terracotta Cherry. You've got to see what this looks like inside. He said you can get variations on this. This is a really rare variety. He only sold it on his site for a hot minute, and then he pulled it because he didn't have enough seeds. But I know Kina's growing it. I'm growing it. I've given seeds to some of you. Look at that interior. This is fully ripe. That's a special. I think I'll save that for seed. Good. 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 So I'll have that review up soon too. Black Hole Sun. Tasted last night. Strange Love, another one of Bill's Depeche Mode series. So those, I think that's about it. And then I'm going to taste some today. Who wants to taste some today? Oh, and Magician. I put this up in the group, I think yesterday. Really pretty variety by Vitaly Alafirov of Kazakhstan. Super early to produce and ripen. It was crazy. Really nice fruity variety. If you like oranges and yellows, you would like this beautiful bicolor. Okay. So what am I going to show you first? I have a couple micros I want to show you. This is one called Florino. Started growing this back in March. It's starting to not look so good. We, like a lot of the United States, we are in a crazy heat wave. It's been like upwards of 100 degrees for like 2 weeks now. So the plants are looking a little bit stressed, but this is it's a nice little compact variety, 7 inches tall. What else about this? I got seeds from Tomato Faifu in Belgium. Don't know origin or anything like that. I think I'll wait to review this for another day. We've got a lot to talk about. But if you're looking for something, we're having a micropalooza again in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap starting September. I think we decided this time, September 1st. So anybody that wants to participate will be growing micros indoors anything micro, mini, whatever you can fit. But this would be a great one for growing indoors because it stays so compact. This one I've been excited for. And I was given seeds by Sabine at Vienna Seeds. She does not have them for sale yet, but she will. I don't think they're up for sale yet. So the pronunciation of this, oh, I looked it up this morning. I had to like play how to pronounce this word. It's Süße. Süße is the first word. I kept saying Suber because it looks like a bee, even though I knew it wasn't a bee. It's German. Süße Luis, which is another word in German for sweet Luis. So I don't have ripe fruits yet, but I wanted to show you this great little plant. This is 10 inches tall. Look at these cute little fruits. Look how adorable they are. They're going to be yellow, as you saw from the picture from Sabine. Super cute. I suspect they're going to be very sweet because I'm noticing that I was growing this indoors, that a certain flea likes the ones that are super sweet. It's flocking to Vilma, it's flocking to Henry Harrington's, and it's flocking to this. So I suspect it's going to be a very sweet one. So Süße Luis would be another great one to grow for Micropalooza. Then there's one I've been talking about for a while. I discovered it a couple months ago from Hawthorne Farms in Canada. It's called Lil Red and Black. No picture of the actual plant. All I know is that it was bred by Vida Gakey and Dwayne Falk of the Mimosa Breeding and Research near Hillsborough, Ontario, Canada. And that they said stout, vigorous leafy plants are also excellent when grown in containers on a balcony or even indoors over winter in a sunny south window. I loved the look of these fruit. I know Kina did too. So I've been growing a few plants, and this one's definitely a mini dwarf. This is 20 inches. I've got one outside that's got more fruit, but it's in a deck railing planter, so I can't show. But yeah, this is a 2-gallon grow bag. I suspect it would get even larger in a 3 or 5 gallon, but it's super healthy. Süße healthy. So I wanted to show you Little Red and Black. You can see it's starting to get antho up top there. So that's exciting, but definitely a mini dwarf, not a micro dwarf. Yes. Thank you, guys. So those of you putting in hashtag tomato, I guess that, so if you're okay with waiting a bit, we'll do some giveaways. So type in hashtag tomato. I'll do a drawing at the end of the show. Again, I apologize. I know it's taken a while between being sick and tomato season. I haven't sent anything out in, I think, a week. And I'm backlogged for a couple months. So as long as you guys don't mind, I'm happy to still give away. I'd hate to say I need to stop. But yeah, so type in hashtag tomato. I'll give away some prizes. If you'd rather not wait, then just don't enter. Hey, our swamp bitch is here. Hi, Harley. Glad you're here. As usual, I'm late. Better late than never. And you know, if you're watching a show of mine, chances are we haven't gotten into the top 10 yet, although we have talked about other varieties, so you'll want to watch the show back. Somebody just asked me, where was it? Missy, how often do you fertilize your micro dwarfs? Well, when they're indoors, and I do grow a lot indoors, not right now, not at the moment. There's a couple growing indoors that I'm working on doing crosses for, but outdoors I fertilize more often than indoors because I have to water them, especially in this weather. So I've been using, gosh, I was just showing it to Mary Rivas yesterday. It's like a micro, it's called Bigfoot. It's a mycorrhizal fungi that also has kelp and biochar and humic acid in it. I get it on Amazon. It's a powder that's water soluble. I've been doing that, and I've been fertilizing with that like once a week. That mixed with a little bit of Grow Big by Fox Farm. And that seems to be keeping them healthy. In fact, B times Macbeth, if you remember, I had one plant that was kind of fading out, wasn't looking so great. All of a sudden, that thing's burst back to life. In fact, I'm convinced it's at least a semi-determinate because that is continuing to produce and produce and produce. And new flowers and all of that. So for those of you looking to grow B times Macbeth, that's really exciting news about that variety. But anyway, to answer your question, right now with this heat, because I'm watering so often, it's like I think I did one last week, and I just did another one this morning. It's a light fertilizer, so I'm not. I think it really depends on your fertilizer too, what you're using and the strength and all of that. But that's what I've been doing. Let me see if I can pull up the fertilizer, because I like to kind of give that information out. I was telling Mary yesterday that I came across it by accident. I've been using mycorrhizal fungi for over a year now, usually a granulated one. And I've used different brands. I'm going to put the Amazon link to what I use in the comments here, but let me show it on the screen. So I've been testing out with several different ones, and this one was on sale, and I saw it, and then I got it. I wasn't reading the instructions or the description, realized it was water soluble, and it's got a lot more than mycorrhizal fungi in it. It's got, like I mentioned, all those other things: biochar, humic acid, all kinds of great things. So I've been a big fan of this now for 6 weeks. No, probably 2 months. Probably 2 months. I actually just used it on all my big plants today as well. It's the first time I've fertilized those. So, yeah, if you're looking for something new to fertilize, I like this stuff. It does tend to add up, but you can see it's got worm castings in it too, kelp, azomite, good stuff, good stuff. But it's a powder, so it's water soluble. You wouldn't want to put that on roots. The granulated stuff I put on roots when I'm like transplanting and potting, things like that. Uh-oh, what'd I do? Okay. Hey, Brian, glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Nicole, glad you're here. Somebody was talking to me about you the other day, Nicole. Just talking. She's got a great YouTube channel. If you guys don't follow her, please do. Somebody was trying to remember your name, and they said something like, she's super cute and bubbly, and she walks around her garden with like a glass of wine. I'm like, oh, it's Nicole. She's so cute. So glad you're here, Nicole. And if you don't subscribe to her channel, you want to. She's really fun. 70 Galway 1. Any advice, Lauren, on trying some fall planting of a dwarf, 50 or 60 days to harvest? The summer was brutal heat, not many fruits. Sorry to hear that. I'm a big fan of having a second round of tomatoes for the fall. That's why I take so many sucker plants. I think depending on where you are, 70 Galway 1, I think, for me, our first average frost is October 15th. Starting from seed now, for me, would be pushing it. But yeah, check those maturity dates. I think, if you've got 50 or 60 days, depending on where you are, you should be fine. And if you could take sucker plants from plants that aren't doing so well, take that armpit, a sucker, put that will save you like a couple weeks usually. And that's a great way that I get a second season. I mentioned earlier, I've got Nano Meatball Dwarf, Earth Angel, another new one by Terra Nova Farms, a couple new Purple Rains, Dwarf Purple Heartthrob, Raspberry Beret. I've got all those as sucker plants that are going, and a couple new B times Macbeth. I thought I'd be running low on seeds with two plants, but certainly not. Oh, Cardaro, the Chubby Bunny and Vilma were growing from you flower today. Hi, Ansel. You guys don't know Ansel. He's our 5-year-old mascot and little gardening buddy. And he loves to garden tomatoes. So we say hi to you, Ansel. And I promise not to say any bad words today. He was one of my last garden tours. There's a couple names of tomatoes that Ansel was not happy with. And it wasn't good language on my part. I apologize, Ansel. But it's my son's fault for picking those varieties. Safi, have you used Oh, have you used Neptune? Neptune's Harvest, I love Neptune's Harvest. I use that for a lot also, their, liquid kelp meal, and I also use their granulated products. Their granulated, fish and seaweed fertilizer, and I love their crab and lobster. I put all that in the hole, so, yeah, I'm a big fan of their liquid fertilizers also. In fact, that's what I was using before the, discovered this Bigfoot, and I still have a bunch of it, so I'm sure I'll go back. Um, oh, you're welcome, Nicole. The world needs more people like you in it that just have fun and don't take themselves too seriously, but also providing great information. You're a gem. Haha, you love that. He's laughing. I won't say those bad words, Ansel. And Ansel, I heard that the cherry tomatoes, the seeds I gave you of you can't, you won't, and you don't stop. I heard that plant's growing really big. Mine is too. Nothing ripe yet, but I can't wait to taste it. So I can't wait to hear what you think. Um, I have not tasted the Nano's meatball, but Randy, who weighed in at the earlier episode, he said he tasted it and it's a near 10. So those of us growing it are very happy. Super excited. But no, I don't have any ripe yet, unfortunately. Becca's here. Finally, I'm not too busy and have service. Excellent. I want to taste some things today. Nothing earth shatter. I do want to show you. Hang on, let me skip forward in slides. Oh gosh, maybe I should skip some of these. I wanted to show you guys this. So one, I share this all the time, but I had two varieties that I've been looking for what felt like an eternity that I wanted. I think I mentioned it 2 weeks ago. Krimsky Malachite, which I got from Tomato 5 Food. That's a mix between Malachite box or Malachitовая шкатулка and Black Krim, another one of two of my favorite tomatoes. Tomato 5 Food, at least in in where I'm able to order from, was the only place that even mentioned it. So I had like an APB out for seeds for that for a long time. Eventually, Tomato 5 Food opened. I was able to order them, and I am growing it. The other one is Jarson 16. I'm a big fan of Jarsons. I know some of you that are just joining the group aren't sure why we're obsessed with Jarsons, why I'm obsessed with Jarsons. I'm obsessed with Jarsons because he's a breeder from Poland, and his crosses, what he uses in his crosses, I find to be my favorite tomatoes. So my favorite tomato of all time so far, and maybe that'll change this year, Malachite box or Malachitовая шкатулка. He last year, Malachite Jen and I discovered him. I think Jen discovered him first, as a matter of fact. We grew Jarson 18-3, which is a cross between Malachite box and Copia. And then I also grew Jarson 1, which my version is calling Jarson 1 tricolor, although was it Licia got a completely different color than mine. They're not that stable. But anyway, the other one I was searching for high and low is Jarson 16. It's a cross between Malachite box and Cherokee purple. So I've got Krimsky Malachite with Malachite box and Black Krim, and Jarson 16 with Malachite box and Cherokee purple. How can you go wrong, right? So I had a Jarson Angel that came to my rescue, as well as a couple of vendors who knew I was looking for it and got seeds. So because Jarsons aren't stable, they often look different. So here's an example of a few different versions. I'm growing 3 different versions of Jarson 16 this season. I think 2 are from my Jarson Angel and 1 is from Lux Tomatoes. And you can see they vary in color. This one's from Cariarte Seeds. This one's a yellow one. So with Malachite box, which is a green one ripe, and Cherokee purple, it really runs the gamut of what you can get for color. I was really hoping, for no other reason than I thought it would be cool, I was really hoping to find one that had purple color to it, a little bit more of the Cherokee purple. And as far as I knew, I couldn't find it, but Natalia at Lux Tomatoes sent me seeds for Jarson 16. She didn't have a picture. I planted it. I picked my first ripe one, and look at this. I am a happy girl. So this is one I have to wait for my husband to taste. I have to wait for Rob. I kept waiting for it to get more soft. It's pretty soft on top, but how excited am I to get a Jarson 16 that looks like this? I just wanted one version that was purple. I can't wait to see what this is like inside, what it tastes like. So just wanted to say I'm super excited about that. Teresa's growing Jarson one too. Good. I can't wait, you guys. When you grow your varieties and you're harvesting, I know so many of you are posting in the group. Post away. We want to see your pictures. We want to hear your thoughts because so many of us are sharing the same varieties and seeds and all that. And certainly doesn't have to be any particular person like me, Kina, Lena, Jen reviewing. It can be all of us, and we want that. Kim, so glad I can watch on Facebook again. Hi. Oh, is YouTube a problem for you, Kim? Sorry to hear that. So I'm now broadcasting on, not in the group because that's still not allowed with Facebook, but on my Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head Facebook page, I can broadcast. So glad you're here. I'm not sure I knew that you couldn't watch on through YouTube. Sorry about that. Are your Jarson ones 5 to 8 ounce or bigger? Bigger. They're bigger. In fact, I'm growing that one again. I'm growing 2 Jarson ones this year, regrowing my Jarson one tricolor just because I gave out so many seeds and I wanted to replenish it. I also want to see what comes out this year, but they were big and with a point at the bottom and green, pink, yellow. Really absolutely gorgeous and very, very tasty. They're a cross between Great White and Kazula 25. And then another one I got from Graf Samina, which is a striped heart, same cross, but striped heart. But yes, my Jarson ones, if you got seeds from me, mine were, there were a lot of them and they averaged about this size. They were big. Jarson 18 was bigger, but that's the size of the Jarson one. I know, Deb, isn't it beautiful? So excited. So I don't think Lux Tomatoes, I don't think she offers this on her website yet. Maybe she will at the end of the season. But thank you, Natalia, for sending me seeds for this. It's going to be like, I'm so looking forward to it. I'm going to be afraid to slice into it. But I do have to slice into some other things. So let me go back here. All right. So I did want to taste a couple things with you guys. This one I showcased back in my 2024 grow list that I've been excited about. It's a variety called Black Yum Yum. What do I know about Black Yum Yum? What do we know? It's from Canada. I'm growing it in a 10-gallon grow bag in our in-ground garden. And it's been doing well. It's been producing a lot. It is prone to splitting. I will tell you that. But we tend to pick at first blush anyway. Here, let me take this off. So this is Black Yum Yum. Super pretty, right? This has been ripening on our counter for a few days. Really pretty similar color to the Jarson 16, actually, isn't it? Super pretty. According to Tomato Faifu, it's got exceptional flavor, very rich and tasty. The Yum Yum, I don't know what this means. Yum Yum means Yum Yum. Okay. Excellent production from mid-season and regularly until frost. Definitely is early where I am. So let's review Black Yum Yum, shall we? Let's look inside. Haven't tasted it yet. This is for you guys. Ooh. Look at that. Look at that business. That looks amazing. Let's do a Brix taste on that. Oh, Teresa says my Cherokee purple bicolor is well over a pound and still growing. That's amazing. That's great. I'm really regretting not growing that one again this year. That was an off type that I grew last season. I gave many of you seeds for a Cherokee purple bicolor. It's like a yellow orange bicolor, and I'm really regretting not growing it. But I'm glad seeing so many of you are doing it. Shannon, back to Lil Red and Black for a second. I hope you review that one. It's on my 2025 list, and I've sent seeds to members in the Facebook group. Believe me, I will be reviewing it. I'm excited. Probably not long. It's a very fast-growing variety. Very fast. So hopefully sooner than later, I'll get some ripe fruits and I can review it. So anyway, Black 2. All the fruits were around this size, by the way, so far. They're all this kind of globe saladette size. So let's, rather than looking through that thing in the light, my parents got me this digital one as an early birthday gift. So you just put the drops on here. and you do a taste test, and then I can show you the score. Okay, let me get the juice off. 6.5. So what I've been tasting with the refractometer up until now has mainly been micros and cherries, which the brick score tells a lot because that's the sweetness. It measures the sweetness, the sugar content. But, and I was talking about this with Lena Halberstadt, also the Jersey tomato chick. When it's regular season tomatoes, larger tomatoes, sugars don't tell the whole story. You know, there's an acid component, there's umami flavor, saltiness, wine taste. So where it may seem like, ooh, 6.5 is a low score, I think, and I haven't tasted it yet, I think that's actually a pretty high brick score for a larger tomato. So let's dive in. It's got lots of seeds and goo. There's another section of it. Mmm. Ooh. I'm shocked that it's only 6.5. Absolutely shocked. It's very sweet. Mmm. Mmm. Funny. Next time I'll taste it myself before I taste the bricks. Interesting. This is very good. Lots of seeds and goo. So flavorful. Very sweet. Mmm. Little tang to it, which I love. Little acid, not too much acidity, but just enough that it makes it not just a pure sweet tomato. This tastes like a big cherry tomato. It tastes like a big Sungold. Honestly, it's really, really good. Mmm. Black yum yum. I've got to give that an 8 out of 10. That's delicious. Absolutely delicious. How big is the black yum yum plant? Well, it's still early in the season. Right now, it's probably 4 feet tall, I would say. Oh, that's so sweet of you to wait for Rob. Thank you. There's some, I mean, we like doing our reviews together at night. And, you know, once in a while, I love to share with you guys, and I know on Tomato Talk Live, Jen and I do too, but this one's special. This is really special. So we've been waiting, and I will of course write the review and post it in the group when we do, maybe tomorrow. But yeah, I have to. He's the Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head really just started as something we were doing for fun, and I've kind of taken it and gone a little crazy with it. But it is something like that we do together, which I love. You know, he's definitely not an in front of the camera kind of guy, but we love doing this, and it'll be nice in retirement years, you know, to do this together. Oh, hey, Kathy, glad you're here. You're just in time to hear me taste this black yum yum, which is out of this world. That's good news. Okay. There's other things I was going to taste. I think I'll only do one more. I have these hanging varieties. Oh, that is so good. Kind of hanging basket varieties I wanted to show you that are starting to ripen. There's a new variety by Lucas Wallman called Miracle Berry. Teresa at Tomato Eden has it listed as dwarf Miracle Berry, but it is not a dwarf. Let me show. I'm growing these. Where is it? I'm growing these on my deck railing planter. Oh, wait. Yeah, microberry. This is microberry. If you look closely, look at all those fruit. My goodness, it's loaded. Absolutely loaded. I've never grown Barry's Crazy Cherry because I have been told don't bother. But the photos kind of look like Barry's Crazy Cherry. It is loaded. So that's microberry. And then there's another one. Actually, I've got two more. This is Ampullus Miracle Berry. Ampullus meaning hanging. So this is Miracle Berry. These are red ones that are equally as prolific as you can see from these pictures, just hanging and producing like crazy. And then another one, I'm glad you're here, Linda, but I don't think they're quite ripe yet, but one that Linda gave me called Tumbling Jester, which is supposedly an off-type of Rambling Red Stripe. I don't think they're ready to taste and review yet, but they're turning kind of like a red metallic gold stripe. And let me tell you, this plant is loaded also. So having really good luck with the hanging varieties this year. Oh, Lisa, you tried it. The Jarson One tricolor is delicious. That's excellent. So Lisa is the one I mentioned a few minutes ago. I gave her seeds for my Jarson One tricolor, and hers is completely different color. It's like a yellow-orange bicolor, right? It's beautiful, and I would love to swap seeds with you at the end of the season. Brianna says, wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Barry's is icky. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Black Yum Yum is delicious. It is. Oh, and Cereal Spinner says Barry's Crazy Cherry was one of our favorites last year. My 2-year-old grandson absolutely loves them. I'm sure he does. Glad to hear. We're all different, right? We all have different tastes. Taste is very subjective. So I'm glad it was a good variety for you. Anna says, I'm growing 2 of his Micro Ween and Austrian Mountain Cherry. Do you mean Lucas Wallman, I'm assuming? Yeah, he's a genius, isn't he? Harley the Swamp Bitch. Barry's Crazy Cherry taste is okay. The plant itself grows great. You definitely get a lot of tomatoes from them. They're, of course, better than store-bought, easy-to-grow tomato. Yeah, I'm sure. And Lisa, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so the other one I wanted to taste and show is a variety. It's on a lot of people's lists for being a micro dwarf. It's called Agata or Agatha from the Ukraine. It's not a micro dwarf, believe me. It is a mini dwarf. I grew it in a green stalk. You can see the seedling grow bag there. This was before I planted it in the green stalk. It's big. It's, what is it? I've already removed it. It was 18 inches in the green stalk. So I would suspect it could get upwards of 20 inches in open ground or in a larger pot. But it wasn't that productive. But again, I think it would be more productive in open ground. But this is what I got off of it. These sized fruits. And so I wanted to taste one of them. And the seeds aren't that easy to find. I forget where I got seeds. Probably Kina. Kina always hooks me up with rare micros. So let's taste this one. What time is it? We're only an hour in. That's all. So this if you have the space to grow a mini dwarf for Micropalooza, 18 to 20 inches. If you can handle that in your house, you could possibly grow this one indoors. Inside looks nice. Deep pink. Deep pink. Do I know anything about this? I know it's from Ukraine. It says firm flesh with heirloom tomato flavor, compact plant suitable for growing in pots, determinate, very productive variety. I didn't find productive, but again, so many tomatoes, they will accommodate you dependent on how you accommodate them. So a green stalk was not enough space for this mini dwarf for sure. So let's give it a taste. I'll wait to do the refractometer until after I taste it. All right. I'm only going to take a little section so I can see the seeds. That's good. Acidic, not overly, a little bit of sweetness. The other one, Black Yum Yum, was more sweet and then acidic. This is the other way around. Really good tomatoey flavor. Really good. Yeah, it's got a lot of flavor. A lot of micros and minis have a watered down flavor. This is actually quite lovely. Let's do a Brix test on it. I wouldn't think it would be high on the Brix score because it's definitely more tangy, salty. But let's give it a taste. Yeah. 4.7. So this just proves that don't go by the Brix score for all tomatoes. You know, if you're looking for a really sweet micro dwarf or a cherry, cherries are great for that, then bricks is important, but doesn't always apply. All right, I got to, I'll save the rest of these for seeds. And then I'll review the hanging basket varieties next week. All right, let's get on with it. Shall we? Everybody typing in hashtag tomato. Got some exciting varieties to show. That everything I'm kind of skipping around here. Oh, that black yum. Oh, I have one more thing to show you. And I've got a little video I made for it. I was sharing this with Kina and Jen and Malachite Jen. So there's a variety that I'm growing this year that I showcased on my 6-part grow list series called Prime Rib. It's an original from Bunny Hop Seeds. And it's starting out to be a really special variety. I haven't even tasted it yet. Here's some backstory on the prime rib. Bunny Hop Seeds, or Heritage Seed Market, says it's an original creation by Bunny Hop, deep reddish chocolate beefsteak tomato with a solid tomatoey flavor. It's not overly sweet, but has an excellent balance of sugar and acid. I chose the name, excuse me, prime rib because the thick, meaty slices reminded me of excellent quality aged beef from a fancy steak restaurant. Not the wimpy, fake, pinkish red of supermarket steaks, but the real dark, brownish red of aged beef with complex flavors. This cross came about in 2013 when I tried to find a tomato variety of any color but red that could be grown in the ground in my challenging climate and under a large insect disease load. I did not find one. So I made a cross of a disease-resistant red salad hybrid to a delicious and renowned purple beefsteak black from Tula. The cross was successful and several segregates were pursued. I highly recommend prime rib to anyone who struggles to grow heirloom tomatoes in a hot, humid climate, which it has been in New Jersey lately, but those of you out west, down south, this might be a good one for you. And who loves intensely flavored slabometer on sandwiches and other fresh eating applications. My photo of the sliced fruit shows it at not fully ripe. You can see the greenest cast to the gel. I think I have a better photo from this season to post as soon as I have the time. That's from Ellie at Bunny Hop Seeds. All right. I've got to show you my plant. And the only way I could really do it justice, I thought, was to take a video. So getting all high tech here. Here's a video. Hang on, let me make sure the sound's on. Yep, it should be. Okay. Hey, tomato heads. I wanted to take you outside briefly and show you this tomato I've got called Prime Rib, which is from Heritage Seed Market. So you can see this bed. It's growing like crazy. Everything's looking good. And look at this little guy. This is Prime Rib. I measured it yesterday. It's 31 inches tall. So you can see it's far and away much shorter than what's next to it, which is San Penis. We won't even get into that. But look at this. Look at the size of these fruits on this plant. On a 31-inch plant, there are tons of fruit. Tons and tons of fruit on this short plant. So it's not technically a dwarf. And maybe, you know, it's still very early in the growing season, but you can see it's so much shorter than anything else. In fact, I think it's even shorter than Dwarf Nano's meatball. No, not really. It's very full, but isn't that amazing? So I will share in the show here more about prime rib, but I just want to show you what this plant looks like. How exciting would that be to get, looks like something got that one. Get these huge fruits. Hopefully they're tasty, and lots more to come, lots of flowers too. So that's prime rib. Isn't that amazing? My hat's all crooked. Isn't that amazing? Like, it's not a dwarf. And I don't know. I mean, she said it came about in 2013. I'm assuming it's stable. Maybe it's going to take off at some point. But the fruits on those things are crazy. So I'm really, really hoping. Have any of you grown prime rib? If so, put in the comments. and let us know what you think, because now I've got high hopes. It would be awesome sauce if that's an amazing tasting tomato, and I really think it's going to be. I can't believe the size of them. I mean, yeah. I mean, you could tell they're kind of big there. I know Ellie, I'll have to email her, send her my video and see what she thinks. Oh crap, you sent us seeds to them. I didn't plant any. I'm excited now to grow something new next year. Again, we thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. So Heritage Seed Market has them for sale. Oh, hi, Sashka. Glad you're here. Welcome. I think they're in stock. Last I looked. Let's see. Heritage Seed Market. She does. She's like me as far as owing people seeds. She has a big thing on her website that she runs weeks behind. She's a very busy and brilliant woman. Let me show you the website. Here's prime rib, and they've got 4 in stock at the moment. I'll put the link in the comments for any of you that would like to order it. Although maybe some of us will be saving seeds at some point. But all right, I just put the link in the comments to order. As far as I know, because it's a Bunny Hop original, they're the only place that carries it. So we shall see. Hopefully it's a good one, but I can't believe the size of the fruits on that little plant. All right, let me remove the video. Okay, shall we get to my top 10 that I'm obsessed with for the week now that it's over an hour? All right, so this first one here was given to me by my friend James Maxwell. He said it's okay to use his name. This is called Northern Green. Look at this. I mean, if I ever saw a tomato that looked like a Lauren tomato, this is it. Northern Green. I love green when ripe, and I love that kind of coloring inside. The inside just looks delectable. Here's what I know. This is from Tomato 5, and thank you, James, for seeds for this. Little known variety whose origin is not established. Fruits weigh 150 to 300 grams, round with a discrete ribbing at the top and slightly rounded shoulders. Pale green color, turning amber when fully ripe. Firm and juicy flesh, yellow with pink marbling. Exquisite taste. Ugh, how can it be bad? Exquisite taste. Exquisite taste. Where was I? Exquisite taste. Vigorous plant, but with limited development. Dense. What does that mean? Vigorous plant, but with limited development. Remonte. What does that mean? Vigorous plant with limited development. I don't know. Dense foliage, indeterminate growth, good and regular mid-season production. That's got to be on my grow list for next year, for sure. Oh, Ansel just told his brother San Penis is the one next to Monkey Ass. This is your fault. Sorry, Ansel. He's right. Monkey Ass. I didn't even make that connection, actually. But Monkey Ass is right next to San Penis. That's the one I mentioned earlier that little Ansel was not happy with me for saying that word on my last garden tour. San Penis is right next to Monkey Ass. God, I didn't make that connection. But I'm glad you know my garden well, Ansel. Going back to prime rib, that's huge for that size. I know. Shannon, prime rib has made it on my list to acquire now. Yeah, hopefully it tastes good. I guess I'm behind in the comments. Sorry, guys. That looks amazing. Malachite Jen says, you need to keep us posted on prime rib if it shoots up. If it doesn't, I want to grow seeds from yours next year. Seriously, right? I mean, that entire bed has shot up like crazy. The mushroom compost mix is like crack. It's interesting, and it didn't even really strike me until the last couple days. I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, that's really short. It doesn't have the same growing habit, like growth. What's the word I'm looking for? Growing habit? Tendencies, I guess, as a dwarf. It's short, but it's very full, as you can see. It's almost like a bonsai tree. But I mean, the amount of fruit and big fruits on that would be something special, wouldn't it, if it's a good one? Kim says, I'd be so interested in seeds. Bunny hop suspended international orders. So I didn't manage to get any, but wanted to grow after your grow list video. Oh, sorry, Kim. Well, I will definitely have seeds at the end of the season. Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot that Heritage Seed Market does not do international, which is a bummer. Brianna says, instant need. Northern green, I know, right? Thank you again, James. This one looks fantastic. And by the way, as I'm going through these, if any of you have grown any of these, please let us know. Angel's Garden looks awesome. I saw the pics. Angel's Garden. Angel's Garden? I'm not sure I know what you mean, Licia. I probably should. Angel's Garden looks awesome. I saw the pics. You'll have to let us know. Amazing, I know. Oh, Ansel's Garden. Yes, Ansel's Garden. Ansel's quite the tomato grower, right, Ansel? Very, very proud of you, buddy. You are doing great, great work, and we can't wait to see all your tomatoes that you grow with your dad. Yvette says Northern Green is my type of tomato. Absolutely. I will definitely grow Black Yum Yum next year. I highly recommend it. It's good. I might even give it an 8.5. That is a really, I'm still thinking about very, very flavorful tomato. Did not know you had an Instagram. Yeah, I do. Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. Trying to get better at updating it more often with my reviews and stuff. But yes, if you are on Instagram and want to check out, I've got all kinds of reviews and pictures and stuff. Check me out, Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. All right, what's next? That's Northern Green. This next one also came from James. May as well keep it in it. It's quite simple. It's called Smiley, and it's very rare. He got it from the Seed Savers Exchange, which is where James gets a lot of the seeds that he gives to me. It's an indeterminate red large globe to beefsteak tomato that matures late in the season and is productive. Great flavor that is pleasantly acidic with good sweetness and a balanced meaty and juicy texture. Would make a good slicer tomato. Fruits are solid red with slight ribbing, have some fasciation, measure 2.5 to 3.5 inches tall by 3 to 4 inches wide, bricks of 6. So as we just witnessed from Black Yum Yum, that's for a regular tomato. That's not a cherry. That's actually a really good score. Plants are 3.5 to 5 feet tall, so kind of a dwarf with moderately dense foliage and 2 to 5 fruits per cluster. And then another place, Rundle's Urban Farm, says Smiley is a classic-looking, smooth red tomato with superb flavor. Another favorite from our 2021 garden. This variety produced earlier than a lot of the other varieties we grew. Excellent all-purpose tomato. If you're looking for a classic red tomato with excellent flavor, be sure to try Smiley. Besides, who doesn't want to grow a tomato with such a cheery name? I don't know if I wrote this or they did. I'm thinking they did. This is another tomato variety that is not available from seed companies, although Seed Savers Exchange has been trialing it for inclusion in future catalogs. You won't find this variety at the garden center either. Well, that goes without saying. Yeah, it's really good. If you're just joining and didn't watch, I tasted Black Yum Yum and also Agatha. Black Yum Yum is really quite phenomenal, delicious. Corrine says Black Yum Yum on my grow list for next year too. Yeah, and nice and early. Has been ripening for about a week. Black Yum Yum sounds fantastic. It is. It's yum yum. That is for sure. There's such a happy name. It is. Smiley. Cereal Spinner says, we're dealing with curly top virus this year, but none of the micro dwarf or dwarf types seem to have been affected. Do you know if they are immune? I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. If anybody wants to weigh in, I can't say for sure. I've never had a dwarf affected by any of those. I know they can get, like septoria leaf spot and things like that, but curly top, I don't know. That's a great question. If somebody wants to weigh in, Ramonte, if you're still here, if anybody else knows that, I will tell you. And I meant to say this with my what did I say was Zusa Louis micro dwarf. Maybe I said it, I don't remember. Microdwarfs are not immune to tomato hornworms, my friends. There's sadly, a couple of these fruits I had to take off. They love microdwarfs just as much as they love dwarfs and regular tomatoes. So don't think you don't have to look for hornworms on these little guys. In fact, they seem every year I have a bunch together, like in a section on my deck. They seem to hit there and not the big garden all that much lately, although looks like something got prime rib. Licia says, I have to run. Unfortunately, wonderful show as always. Happy growing, y'all. Thanks for joining us, Licia. Oh, okay, here's the answer. I had curly top disease on Uluru ochre dwarf last year. There it is. I wouldn't have thought it would be immune, but glad to have confirmation on that. All right, so that was Smiley. Again, thank you, James, for this. This next one came from Bill Yoder, who said this variety is absolutely phenomenal. It's not his. It is by Sofia Sakova of Russia. It's called Cherry Stripes. This photo is from Bill. Thank you, Bill, for use of the photo. And if you're just joining us, Bill is starting to open up sales. There's a post in the group where I talk about how to go about doing that, but you want to send him a message on Messenger and get his email address. So if you're looking to get his Duran Duran line, Depeche Mode, Prince, whatever he offers. But anyway, he said this variety is amazing. It's an experimental variety. I got my seeds from Tomato Eden. I don't know if that's where he got his or not. It's a selection by Sofia Sakova from the Tree's Lower Stripes variety. I'm thinking Heart of the Lower Tree is what that means, which I'm growing that one. I'm pretty sure I'm growing that one. Indeterminate medium height, 1.8 meters mid-season. The fruits are wide, heart-shaped with a cherry spot and stripes from the base. Average weight from 180 to 300 grams. Marmalade, sweet pulp, may split. So yeah, Bill gave this very, very high marks, Cherry Stripes. Mary says, they sure do. Pesky beasties got 6 of my Lois's baby tiger fruits. Shoot. Yeah, that's a bummer. Especially when, on a lot of micros, they're not always swimming with fruit. So sometimes we're waiting for stuff to ripen so we can review it or save seeds or whatever. And those little buggers, stay away from the micros. Stay away from my Zusa Louis. Haley says, the army worms have been attacking all of my tomatoes, microdwarf, dwarf, and tall plants. I got some great suggestions in the group and taking care of it, though. Good. I have good luck in my regular gardens with growing borage, B-O-R-A-G-E. Seems to work. It seems to be a deterrent. I should probably put some borage on my deck with the micro dwarfs. But yeah, so that's Cherry Stripes. It looks phenomenal. I wish I grew it this year. It looks like a meat tomato for sure. And high marks from Bill Yoder on that one. So 2 weeks ago, Ramonte was telling me, and then I relayed to you guys, about a breeder from the United States that works with Cornell University named Phil Griffiths. And I showcased this variety called Yellow Submarine. Fruition Seeds sells these. So Ramonte has very positive things to say about this breeder with Fruition Seeds. So of course, I know many of you went and ordered afterwards. I sure did. And I ordered a number of things from there. I ordered Yellow Submarine, which, believe it or not, accidentally fell into soil. And I've got some seedlings going. Also from Phil. These are all Phil Griffiths varieties. Also got his Cherry Ember, which maybe I'll grow next season. But there's a green cherry of his called Jaded that just looks amazing. This accidentally fell into soil too. So this is also from Fruition Seeds. Let me put the banner up. Fruitionseeds.com. Heidi Jores shared in the group last week, I think, or maybe 2 weeks ago after my show, that they are stopping sales of seeds soon. So if you're interested in any of these varieties, you want to place an order sooner than later. I don't think they gave a stop date, but over the summer at least. So fruitionseeds.com, which is a shame. So they do a lot of work with Phil Griffiths here, and this one's called Jaded. Here's what I know. They're on Fruition Seeds, their website. It says, if you think green tomatoes aren't delectable, well, don't be jaded. The organic jaded cherry tomato is the deliciously rich combination of several heirloom varieties crossed by our friend and mentor Phil Griffiths, fondly known as Griff. He loves to describe their flavor as complex, charismatic, and captivating, and we couldn't agree more. One of the most unusual characteristics of jaded is the remarkable translucence. I love that, indicating peak flavor has arrived. If you prefer your tomatoes a little more bright and acid, harvest them as soon as the translucence emerges. If you love your tomatoes a little more sweet and mellow, harvest them as the translucence deepens toward gold. That's what I like. We harvest fruits from the whole spectrum for the fullest expression of colors and flavors. Griff has selected them well to resist cracking, which they do better than many cherry tomatoes, especially considering their skin is so marvelously thin, which I also like. Once again, we are endlessly thankful for the millennia of indigenous seed keepers who have laid the foundation of resilience and the public plant breeders, creating extraordinary varieties adapted for our short seasons. A portion of every packet sales goes back to the university to ensure new varieties for our short seasons will continue to be bred to surround us with abundance beyond our lifetimes. They've got a great mission statement, Fruition Seeds. So besides working with this gifted breeder in Cornell University, they really, like you just heard me read, they give a portion of their sales back to indigenous seed keepers, and I really like that. But besides that, look at this tomato. I mean, that looks amazing. You've probably heard me mention several times that my favorite cherry so far is a variety called Coyote, which kind of looks like this, but smaller. It's a little bit more yellow. They're smaller, larger than spoon, larger than a currant tomato, but they have this translucence that I love. It's very complex, sweet and complex. I'm stabilizing a few crosses of that myself. Mama EC. I collected 31 plus 10 plus 4 hornworms on 3 different days. Yuck, most were from my sacrificial broccoli plants. Oh, yucky. That's 45's too many, says Missy. I agree. I'm sure many of you know this, but just in case any of you may not know, we're talking about the dreaded tomato hornworm, which can decimate a plant very quickly and will eat through your tomatoes too. There's a really great way to find them, and you can go out at night, get yourself a black light flashlight, and they glow in the dark. I kid you not. Unfortunately, once you find them, you do need to pick them off, but they glow in the dark. In fact, we haven't done that this year. I keep saying to Rob, we need to go out tonight. But yeah, get yourself a cheap black light flashlight, shine it at night, and they will show up for you, because they often camouflage right into the tomato plant and can be very hard to see. But I've found some hanging out of tomatoes before, and it looks like something out of a horror movie, but wasps can lay their eggs on the backs of these things, and which is actually a good thing because the wasps will eat the worm. It's really gross, but it looks like maggots on the back of a really ugly worm. It's really just something to behold, and not in a good way. Although I know many of you will talk about the benefits, and I think everything in nature has a benefit, but not necessarily to the tomato plant. I have a friend who runs a reptile farm that pays me for hornworms. Well, there you go. I hear chickens really like them as well. I think Jen does hers. She feeds hers to the chickens. I don't have chickens. I have a cat who I don't think would appreciate it, since she doesn't even like a spider. So I don't think so. Rory the Wonder Cat would say no, but yeah. So that's the tomato hornworm. Sorry, Mama EC. Yucky. All right, so that's jaded. And along those same notes, also from Fruition Seeds and from the same breeder, is another one called White Zinger. Those of you who are friends with Ramonte, she actually talked about this one on her personal page a few days ago. Look at these things. How cool, right? Super cool. Fruition says, if you're looking for scrumptious as well as unusual tomatoes, White Zinger grows in luscious trusses luscious trusses of luminescent lemon yellow icicles, as one of our sweet garden campers announced last summer. A new variety from Cornell, we found White Zinger to be the favorite of all our tomatoes in 2023 for children to harvest. Each fruit so darling as well as endearingly asymmetrical, straight out of a fairy tale. It really is straight out of a fairy tale. Their abundance is pure delight, and their length is delicious in salads as well as dipped in hummus, though most don't make it out of the garden before finding their way to our mouths. Here is where we must say we've never seen a tomato like White Zinger, both in fruit or plant habit. Their sprawling potato leaf branches resist classic trellising, yet each succulent tomato is easy to harvest within their uniquely determinate 3 to 4 foot tall vine. So it's a compact dwarf variety. Again and again, we are endlessly thankful for the indigenous seed keepers. Portion of every packet of White Zinger goes back to Cornell University to ensure new varieties for our short seasons will continue to be bred to surround us with abundance beyond our lifetimes. So again, if you're interested in either of these last two varieties, you can get them through Fruition Seeds and all sorts of other great things. Also the yellow submarine I talked about 2 weeks ago. And they will be stopping seed sales sometime this summer. So you may want to get your order in if these interest you. Anybody grow any of these this year? Oh, Cynthia, I'm glad you're here. Got White Zinger. Great. Great. So glad you're here. Hi, Terry. Glad you're here. Oh, look at this. Cereal Spinner says, luckily, we don't have the tomato hornworms here in Montana. Plenty of other critters to eat the garden chow. Didn't know. I thought they were kind of a global thing. I think Keena said they don't get them either. They really are like out of a horror movie. They're just disgusting. But I'm glad you don't have them. I'm sure you do have a lot of other critters to contend with. We last week we had to relocate a bunny. A bunny was eating zinnias. We had gone away for the 4th long weekend, and we had this fat bunny who was eating zinnias and chowing down on our tomatoes. So we have a humane trap, and we took him to the same place we brought our groundhog 2 years ago. This nature preserve, not far, but not far. I mean, I think they said bunnies need to be at least 5 miles. This is probably more like 7 miles away, but he's happy and live in the Garden of Eden over there, not in our garden. Oh, you got yellow submarine too, says Cynthia. Good, me too. Bill Yoder grew yellow submarine this season. I think he reviewed it on his page too. Nicole says, I want to try this one. Me too. So definitely, I did not put White Zinger in soil, but I did put jaded in soil. So it's very, very small. We'll see. It says on the back of the seed packet, it actually says don't start too early. And it says it's like an early maturing one, I think. I read it somewhere. I don't know where I read it. It said it was early maturing. So I'm like, I'll try it. And see if I get any seeds. And then also started the yellow submarine as well. All right, what's next? All right, speaking of Bill Yoder again, he keeps popping up today. I was sharing, 2 weeks ago on the show, I believe is when I tasted Suffer Well, which is one of his Depeche Mode varieties, and it really was a revelation. Like, I have two or three ripe ones on the counter. I haven't eaten yet. They're not quite ready, but that tomato is something special. So I was telling him how great it was, and he said that he thinks he may have found another tomato that I forget his words. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but another phenomenal purple tomato that's one of the best he's ever had. And it's this one, bred by Mark McCaslin of Frog's Leap Farm and sold by AP Whaley. They do this series called Cream of the Crop Tomatoes, and it's called Beefy Purple. So there's a couple different varieties in the Cream of the Crop series, but I knew about Mark McCaslin. I hadn't grown anything of his as far as I know. He owns Frog's Leap Farm. And so, of course, when Bill told me about it, I had to order from AP Whaley. let me tell you a bit about cream of the crop beefy purple, besides Bill saying it's one of the best purples he's ever had. According to AP Whaley, let me give you the website quickly before I start. There it is. Oh, it's just awhaley.com. And they sell the other cream of the crop ones as well. They say it's a mouth-watering, open-pollinated gem that captures attention within the expansive cream of the crop breeding program. Making its debut in the 2024 growing season, this determinate regular leaf tomato plant delivers sizable 12 to 14 ounces or 340 to 400 gram mahogany purple fruits with green stripes. The fruits boast an oblate, meaty, and nearly seedless flesh composition. Not sure I love the nearly seedless part. I like my seeds and goo, but that interior does look special. This delectable purple beefsteak tomato not only captivates with its unique appearance, but also possesses a well-balanced taste that promises a delightful culinary experience. What sets them apart is their remarkable storage capability, making them an invaluable addition for market farmers looking to extend the shelf life of their produce. From transplant to ripening, the process takes approximately 60 to 75 days, offering a relatively quick turnaround for those eager to enjoy the harvest. Perfect for fresh consumption, this striped purple beefsteak tomato is a versatile addition to any kitchen. Cream of the crop beefy purple brings a burst of flavor and color to every dish. It's a cream of the crop is a collaborative effort between AP Whaley Seed Company and Frog's Leap Farm, focused on developing tomatoes with superior quality, extended shelf life, disease resistance, and exceptional flavor. Which sounds like Fred Hempel of BNS Seeds, or now Bene Seeds. He was doing the same stuff before he passed last year. So Mark McCaslin and AP Whaley are working on the same thing. It looks like they're looking to transfer heirloom taste and flavor and beauty to the market grower. I haven't tried it. I would suspect that maybe the skin might be a little tougher, so it holds up to transportation, but don't take my word on that. I know Benevento, which is Fred Hempel's flagship tomato, was outstanding. It did have thicker, chewier skin, but it needed to for what the purpose was. So that's beefy purple. So yes, I ordered seeds for that, and also from the cream of the crop line, I also got these tropical sunset. There are others in that series too, the cream of the crop. But again, if you are interested in finding out more about Mark McCaslin, Frog's Leap Farm, and these tomatoes, go to awhaley.com. All right. Here in Louisiana, we have all the bad bugs. We use no pesticides, so daily we are killing. The worst are the armyworms, hornworms, and stink bugs. Yeah, gotta love them. Cynthia, I just love finding out about new to me tomatoes. Me too, Cynthia. That's why you and I are friends. Me too. And that's why I love this show so much. You know, when somebody mentioned something to me in passing, like Ramonte with Phil Griffiths 2 weeks ago, and then now with Mark McCaslin, Bill mentioning it to me. And I didn't know about these cream of the crop. Like I said, I knew of Mark McCaslin, but I just didn't know a whole lot about him. And yeah, this beefy purple sounds right up my alley. So that's Terry says, me too, Cynthia, got to grab a notebook. Yep, prerequisite. Kina, you have that one on your wish list. Excellent. Well, I think I might be able to help with that. Let's talk. I owe you other things as well, I think. All right, what's next? What is next? All right, this one is really interesting. So this is another one given to me by James Maxwell. Thank you, James, if you're watching. It's called Earl. That's it, just Earl. Doesn't look like much, right? Just your standard red tomato. But it's got a great story. It's a limited release for just this year. Well, at least it came out this year, limited release from Victory Seeds. It's pink, purple, indeterminate potato leaf, 12 to 26 ounces, oblate pink beefsteak. Very good yields, great flavor. Victory Seeds. Oh, no, sorry. This is from James. He got the seeds from Bill Minky at Seed Savers Exchange, and he got them from Craig LeHoulier. This variety was apparently collected during World War II in France. It was released by the Victory Seed Company to the gardening public for this season. And then on the Victory Seed website, they say the description is 76 days, indeterminate. The potato leaf vines of Earl are quite prolific, pink-colored, oblate-shaped fruit that are very juicy, yet still meaty, with small seed cells and very few seeds, and a spectacular sweet flavor that finishes mildly tart. On the farm in Oregon, the fruit were large, weighing 10 ounces, all the way up to 26 ounces. Originally sent to, listen, pay attention to this. Originally sent to us by our friend, author and tomato expert, Craig LeHoulier. He told us that Earl was, quote, one of the best tomatoes I've eaten. One of the best tomatoes I've eaten, says Craig LeHoulier. Since Craig has sampled thousands of varieties in his life, this is saying a lot. Craig rated it a 9 on his 1 to 10 scale, noting that it was on par with Brandywine. So we're going to have to ask Craig about this next Friday when he's on Tomato Talk Live with Jen and I. Remind me if I forget. We have to ask him about Earl. So he said it's on 9 out of 10 on par with Brandywine. The Earl tomato was sent to Craig by Emily Chitwood of Hull, Georgia in 2022. She had recently received the variety from her friends, the Esco family of Colbert, Georgia. They were originally gifted the seeds for this tomato from Earl Sarton's sister, Ruth, in the early 2000s. So it was kind of hard to know who to attribute this one to, but I did say U.S. So it looks like it has changed a lot of hands. As it was told to Emily, Henry or Earl Sarton of Danielsville, Georgia, served in the United States Army in Germany during World War II. While stationed there, he collected the seed and brought it back home. When his term of service had ended, his family has grown the variety ever since. All right, so technically, it sounds like it's from Germany. So even that's not right. So originally from Germany. But this, I love a good story like this. I am a sucker for a tomato with a story. It just reminded me I haven't put up tomato tales in a while, Kina. I have to forget we were doing that on Tuesdays. It was Kina's idea a year ago, and I keep forgetting to post it. There was a comment by Malachite. Jen, oh yeah, I wanted to get to this. This is going back to Phil Griffith's varieties. I think I have all of Phil Griffith's varieties because of the short season characteristic, but I haven't grown any yet. Good to know. Oh, and Sathya says, I've yet to see a hornworm in North California. Good to know. And Mary says, I have 2 bunny rabbits that are living under my boxwoods that line the front of our house. Haven't caught them in the garden yet, but something is mulching the borage. Oh, no. That would be troublesome if they munch my borage because that's what keeps the hornworms away. No, but they ate my zinnias, which is tragic. But I'd rather have them eat the zinnias than the tomatoes. And I did direct seed. They ate like every single one. Most of them weren't blooming yet. They did. I think I have 3 left that are blooming. But yeah, you could tell by the sharp angle, little stinkers. And then I just saw them bouncing around, happy as a clam. So yeah, he had to go. What did we name it? We named him Hungry Hilda. Hungry Hilda. So she is living large at Merrill Creek Nature Preserve now. Jennifer says, I have beefy purple bush from Botanical Interest. Wonder if it's the same. I wonder too. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I also saw this variety on Totally Tomatoes. Beefy purple. I think they carry it also. So it might be the same. It might be the same if it's Mark McCaslin or AP Whaley. Maybe it is. Beefy purple. Yeah, it did say it was a bush too, right? Did it? I don't know. Now I'm not seeing it. I know, we'll have to find that out. Need to know. Haley says, I got some of those from Craig and ended up not growing them. Guess I will be putting it on my grow list for next year, says Haley. Yeah, it's a special one for sure. Thank you again, James, for seeds for this. Awesome, says Cynthia. To Terry says, remember how hard it was for Craig to tell us his favorite tomato? I know. Well, what would you say? I mean, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, for me, it's easy. I say Malachite box, but there's so many other great ones too. Oh, speaking of Rory the Wonder Cat, here for dinner, I'm sure. Mama E says, Earl, I want you. Malachite Jen. Earl may be the exceptional red pink we're looking for. I mean, that's high marks from Craig LaHoulier. So it might be. I'm growing quite a number of reds this year that I keep hoping, but yeah, I'm itching for that red. Unfortunately, I won't find out about Earl this year, but next year for sure. Remind me, you guys. We have to ask Craig about this. Serial Spinner says, no rabbits at our place either. Too many foxes, bobcats, eagles, etc. Do the eagles eat your tomatoes? Yeah, I'm sure you've got lots and lots of wildlife by you. Zinnias are a great trap plant. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, they're so pretty too, though. I would rather they munch on borage for sure. For sure. My borage are blooming. That's great. That's great. I've shared before, I'm growing a special borage. It's called Bill Archer borage. It's a variegated borage. And I have this big, beautiful variegated plant. And I've never said, maybe it's because it's like got an albino gene in it. But when the extreme heat hit it and it was in full sun, it whittled away. So now I've got two more very small plants in the beds, which get a little bit of shade, but it was gorgeous. I've got some regular borage too, but that was crushing. He liked Donka too. Craig did. Yes, he did. You're right. Or Vanka. The eagles eat the rabbits. Yeah. Circle of life. All right. What's after Earl? Next one is called Stokes Green. And it's from the United States. The breeder is James Stokes from Vertilume. I got this information. It's from the United States. I already said that. First offered by the Seed Savers Yearbook of 1998. I think James gave me this one too. Thank you, James. Offered in the Seed Savers Yearbook of 1998 by Dorothy Weiswenger, who received the seeds from James Stokes. Green flattened fruits with dark green shoulders, slightly ribbed at the top. The fruits turn amber yellow at full maturity. Green beefsteak flesh with a nice sweet taste. Indeterminate growing plants with regular foliage. Good return starting from the mid-season. Reproduction from the Luke Fichot collection from the seed batch 2002. What's the name again? Do you mean of the borage? Bill Archer. Let me put it in the banner. It's called Bill Archer Borage. You can find it on Deaflora. It's not easy to find it. There's also a site, Bill Archer is the name of the variegated borage. There's also a site where I found Keith's Ailsa gold leaf tomato. And I think I found that tomato because I was looking for Bill Archer from a site, but I don't remember the name of it. If you Google Bill Archer borage seeds, you will likely come up with that. I wish I could remember it. I know Deaflora has it though. And it's really special. I can't really find it many other places. All right, so that's Stokes Green. Has anybody grown Stokes Green? Looks really pretty. Sounds nice. I can't really find anything else out about it. Makes me want to take a bite out of Stokes Green. I agree. Me too. Me too. Some of you are getting like lots and lots of tomato harvest already. Obviously, I'm getting some. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do taste tests. But I mean, let me just show it again. My Jarson 16. I think tonight's the night. I thought it was too bright green at the top, but it's pretty darn soft. I think this is ready. I'm really good about waiting until optimal ripeness. I never jump the gun, not knowingly though. And I can usually pretty much tell by softness and all of that when it's ready. But it would kill me to jump the gun and try something when it's not at optimal ripeness, especially this gorgeous Jarson 16. And if you're just joining us, I tasted Black Yum Yum and it was outstanding. I need to find variegated borage, but I do have variegated sage. I wonder if I do. I'm not sure I do. That's good to know. Yeah, I don't know if I took a picture of the variegated borage before it shriveled up. I know I sent some pictures to Kina and Jen. It's absolutely gorgeous. So Bill Archer borage. Yes, Bill Archer borage. You want to take a look at that. Okay, this one came to me. So I mentioned earlier in the episode. Oops, did I skip around? Hang on. Oh no. What do I do every episode, you guys? Rats. I always forget one slide. Always. And I forgot one slide. Rats. Well, maybe, I can put it on the screen. That's okay. So let's go to this. Skip over this one right now. So this one also came from Kim Langlaise, who also, she and James both gifted me my most wanted of last 2 weeks ago. She put this in with it. This is a variety from Japan called Aichi Aichi First. And again, I love a good story. I love when things come from different countries. And when I was logging it into my spreadsheet, I did some investigating. And Tomato Revolution says this Japanese heirloom traces its roots back to 1938 in Toyohashi, Aichi Prefecture. Henderson's Ponderosa was brought to Japan during the Meiji era from 1868. I apologize for the pronunciation of these. From 1868 to 1912, and was selected over years to produce a wonderful, large, balanced, blunt, heart-shaped tomato, a vigorous plant that produces up to 30 pounds of fruit per season. And then Jardins de Tomates, what do they say? Selected over the years to produce a wonderful, large, balanced tomato with a blunt, heart-shaped, vigorous plant that produces up to 15. All right, so they're basically the same thing. So thank you, Kim, for these seeds. Really special variety. You don't see a whole lot from Japan, so I thought that was super cool. I love growing. Oh, this is helpful. Cynthia's, I think. Oh, I did write that actually somewhere. I think you're right. I think it means delicious. I think you're right. Thank you, Cynthia. So that's that. That's that one. And then let me find the slide I skipped over. Hang on one sec. Okay. There's a variety I came across. How did I come across it, I wonder? I was on this site for something. Okay. I don't know why I was on this site. This site is called Siskiyou Seeds. That's another correct pronunciation right here. SiskiyouSeeds.com. I was on their website, as I tend to do, going on websites, and I came across this unique variety called Wally's Gold. I don't know if Siskiyou Seeds is the same as Seven Seeds Farm, which is listed underneath that. It might be the same. I'm not sure. This is the only picture, but let me read the description and I'll tell you why it's intriguing to me. It says it's a unique open pollinated orange cherry tomato that is exceptionally productive, bred from the wildly popular hybrid Sun Gold F1. We are still selecting this strain with the assistance of my now 15-year-old son, bred for higher sugar levels, productivity, and crack resistance. As it is a work in progress, there will be the occasional red fruited plant, which is still a delicious cherry tomato. This is a delicious garden snack, tantalizing taste buds with an abundance of bright, sweet fruits, vigorous growing vines trellising as they can easily grow to 8 feet tall. So that sounds intriguing. A lot of people claim they've got, the best cherry, like a cherry that's just as good as Sun Gold. I don't know if that's true or not, but this one sounds really intriguing, so, and whether or not it's stable, I don't care. I think I ordered them. I know I ordered them. I forget why I was on the site to begin with, though, but they've got a nice site. So let me share with you again their website, SiskiyouSeeds.com. And that's Wally's Gold. Anybody grown that? Oh, Ramonte has something helpful here. Aichi is delicious. Aichi is a prefecture. What does that mean exactly? This tomato is early and well disease resistant. Thank you. Good to know. What does that mean? Because I've seen it in two different places. What does prefecture mean? Ramonte, you're so helpful all the time. Oh, Safia said that's my county, Siskiyou. Oh, cool. Cool. And this is so big, fat, and round. I know. If you Google the variety, you'll see I guess it's sold in stores in places. Aichi tomatoes. So not only I don't know where, but I guess it's known for being a very delicious tomato. Prefecture is a region of Japan. Okay, I thought so because the way it was reading, but I wasn't quite sure. So good to know. Thank you, Ramonte. A little unstable to maybe breed out other types. Absolutely. Going back to the Wally's Gold. Hang on, let me show it again. Wally's Gold. Yeah, sounds like a good one. I may have to put on my grow list for next year. You know what I will tell you, I didn't post the actual review yet, but I did mention earlier in the episode that some of the things I've had a chance to review and I haven't put up yet. One of them I just tasted last night. This one, Black Hole Sun, which is a Bill Jeffers variety that he used Sun Gold to breed, and it's amazing. It's really good. It's really good. And if you missed earlier, I tasted not those. I was going to taste those. This Black Yum Yum. And let me tell you, this picture doesn't do it justice to what I showed in person, right, gang? Those of you that watched, delicious. It's got to be an 8.5. It's really, really good. Oh, Missy says prefecture's like a district. Fantastic. Thank you, guys. This is why I love this show. We all help each other learn and grow, and we share information, and I just love it. I just love it. All right, so speaking of our friend Ramonte, another variety that I wanted to share from her is one, Rosie, stop that, is one that she told me is outstanding. And so I'm stealing your picture, Ramonte. This is an orange variety. For those of you that like orange varieties, it's called Mary Reynolds from Canada. And Ramonte was so kind and gave me a list of some things that I may want to talk about because she's just the most amazing person ever, which I'm sure you guys know. What do I have written down? Ramonte says one of the best tomatoes ever. Those are her words. She said, this came from Tomato 5 Food, this information. Heirloom variety from the Reynolds family of Natural Bridge, Virginia, United States, originally said to come from Canada. Big orange fruit from 250 to 500 grams, beefsteak type, round and flattened with more or less marked ribbing at the top. Undulation of the shoulders for large sizes. Orange beef flesh, full with small seed cavities containing few seeds. What's with today and the few seeds? I don't know. Black Yum Yum had a lot of good seeds, though. Rich citrus flavor, fruity and sweet. Plant with moderate development, regular foliage, indeterminate growth, second half of the season production. Looks amazing. I cannot wait, says Cynthia. Yeah, do you guys like, who out there is a big fan of the orange tomatoes? If you didn't catch my review, let me remove this, yesterday in the group, I did a review, and it's on my Instagram channel of Magician by Vitaly Alafirov of Kazakhstan. This is a tomato for you. I like things that have more intense flavor, but man, I'd be hard pressed to find a variety that's as beautiful as this. It was sweet. I just like a bit more of a power punch of flavor. I think I rated it a 7. But if you're like, Rob really likes a good orange tomato for like his sandwiches, you will love, love, love Magician. So I don't know how Mary Reynolds rates as far as the orange tomato goes, but I do know if Ramonte says it's really, really good and one of the best tomatoes ever, must be pretty darn good. Nicole says, looks so tasty. And if it's from Canada, it should grow well in my area. Yeah, I think think we've had a few from Canada today, haven't we? Yeah, so thank you, Ramonte, for the tip on that one, for sure. So we're getting ready to close down the show. If you haven't typed in hashtag tomato, I am still attempting to give away seeds. I mean, I am still giving away seeds. It's just I'm running very behind. I appreciate you guys bearing with me as I've been not feeling well and dealing with tomato season. I will get you the seeds though. So I'm still going to draw 5 names today. And, you know, if you'd rather not wait, that's completely understandable. But I just ask that you guys bear with me. You're good like that. And I always make up for it with extra seeds. All right. So my I did have a most wanted of the week. And I feel like it's kind of a silly one, but it's a variety I'd really like that I can't find anywhere. It's, part of my micro dwarf project that I've been doing the last couple of years. This is a variety from the Italian company Franchi, and it's a mini dwarf, I guess you would say. It's 50 centimeters or 20 inches. So like really a mini dwarf, I would say. It's a hybrid variety called Lilliput. And what do I know about it? It's ideal for growing in containers and pots on windowsills and balconies. It bears abundantly, resists to lack of light, early ripe compact tomato that does not require for me, I guess, staking. Standard plant, undersized, up to 50 centimeters high. Fruits are round red, weighing 15 to 20 grams. Anybody know where I can get these? I've checked every place I know of that I can get Franchi seeds. I'm growing Franchi red pear this year, and I ordered those directly from, there's two, I think, official sellers of Franchi here in the United States. Seeds of Italy is one, and I think heirloom something is the other. And I've ordered some radicchio from there and some San Marzano. I wanted authentic San Marzano seeds, and the Franchi red pear I wanted, but I can't find Lilliput. So if anybody knows where I can get this, if you can private message me. It is a hybrid, so it's not something you can save seeds from and pass on. But, keep me in mind if you see it in your travels, let me know. I would be looking forward to growing it. Boney's grow with me in the DMV says, I am patient. Thank you. I appreciate your patience. Oh, thanks, Cynthia. Try not to stress yourself out with soon seed sending, Lauren. Thank you. Appreciate that. I promise you guys, you will get it. And look at all those tomatoes on Lilliput. I know, it's so cute, right? So cute. Okay. So type in hashtag tomato now. We're going to give away some seeds. Well, I'm going to draw 5 names. I'll send you my spreadsheet. Some of you I owe from various contests. And I know, trust me. Cynthia, I should grow magician next year. Yeah, if you like that kind of flavor, you will love it. It's beautiful. And it was so early to ripen. Huge. The fruits were like this big, so early to ripen. And that was not a garage tomato variety for me. I started those seeds on March 25th. And we harvested the 2 that we tasted and now saved seeds from when we got back from 4th of July weekend. So July 6th. It was really early to mature. I love oranges and can't wait to get those seeds. I got you hooked up, Sherva. No worries. Mary Ramonte says, Mary Reynolds is very productive and disease resistant. Good to know. Thank you for the tip on that. I think I had heard of that before, but didn't know much about it. So I appreciate that, Ramonte. Okay, let's take my slides off. It's like such a joke that I miss one slide every episode. It's so random, but that's okay. That's okay. At least I'm able to share the screen. All right, let's get our giveaway tool on the screen. So here's how it's going to work. Your choice. I'm going to draw 5 names, and you can either choose from my spreadsheet, and I'll send you a link to it, or you can have seeds for B times Macbeth, which is a micro that I've been saving seeds from and growing and sharing about for what feels like forever. So I'm going to draw the names. If you can private message me if you're in the group, that's best. If you're not in the group, don't have Facebook, you can email me Let me just put it up on the screen. Hang on, my email address. Great tomatoes today. Thanks, Riverdale Gardens. Oh, your Siam's dead. So sad. I like the size of microdwarf tomatoes, but I want to know if they are indeterminate. Yeah, that's something I'm figuring out as we go along. My Vilma, who's almost 2 years old exactly, is indeterminate. Beet times is way too early to tell if it's indeterminate, but it keeps producing and producing. Got to say, it's at least a semi-determinate at this point, and really, really healthy. All right. Where is my email address? Not here. Let me put it up. It's lernie@me.com. There it is. That's my email address. So let's draw 5 names. We've had 67 people join us today, which is awesome sauce. And let's do this thing. Number 1. Thank you guys for being here with me. It's a lot of fun. Way more fun doing this with all of you than just talking to myself. Sasha randomly. Congratulations, Sasha. Okay. Number 2. When you private message me that you've won, if you could just remind me, Nicole, congrats, Nicole. If you just remind me, knowing that I owe you from another contest, that'll help me. I have it all written down, but that would help me to sync up when I do send you the seeds. Nicole Smith is number 2. All righty. I hope you guys all have a great week and weekend. If you're in the United States, I hope the heat isn't killing all your tomato flowers and all that. It's been pretty brutal here in the United States. Kathy, congrats, Kathy. Yeah, Kina even said in Norway, our U.S. heat wave is on the news in Norway. Craziness. What was that, number 3? Is Kathy number 3? Yep. All right, number 4 is Shurva. Congrats, Shurva. And last one. Number 5. Shannon. Shannon, Miss, I don't need more seeds, McNulty. I don't need more seeds. She said this morning, I don't need more seeds. How many are going to order one of everything? Congrats to all 5 of you, and just private message me. And then we'll work something out. We'll work something out and see what you want. Get you some seeds. So upcoming calendar Tuesday, I'm back to doing tomato tour Tuesdays, as long as it's not, hurricane or something like that. Next Thursday will be our 1-year anniversary of Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap Party, this time next week. And then Friday, the next day, Craig LaHoulier on Tomato Talk Live with Jen and I. So hope you all have a great week. Don't forget to look at the post about ordering for Bill Yoder in the group. And why is my hat so crooked? I don't know. I'll see you next time, gang. Peace, love, get your gratitude on, and go grow tomatoes. Love you guys.